I moved around quite a bit in my formative years, from China to Japan, Japan to China, China to the US, US to Singapore, and Singapore back to the US. During those years, I moved because of my parents' jobs. I didn't really have a say in where I wanted to go. Now as an adult, I do have a level of agency, and I get questions like, why did you choose the United States? Why don't you go back to your home country, China, or even Singapore? Here's my answer to that. The biggest reason is my personal comfort. I have spent over half of my life in the States, so it is my comfort zone. I don't mind moving at all domestically or internationally, and I do go back to China to visit my family once in a while. But I specifically avoid living in China long term because China has brought me a lot of trauma in the past, and I just don't think I'm healed enough to face it yet. I have a very poorly recorded but very personal video on my YouTube channel explaining this. At the time when this whole thing or things unfolded, I was already pretty close to leaving China. So when I did leave, there was an overwhelming sense of liberation. Long story short, I was groomed and S8. The system in China, at least at that time, didn't protect me, and the culture didn't encourage me to speak up about it. Side note, very recently, this Chinese nth room was exposed. And my first thought was, I think that's what my perpetrator did. I think there's footage of 13, 14-year-old me out there because of him. Considering the scale of this incident and how there's not a single conviction or arrest yet, I just don't feel safe. The US is by no means perfect, and I know that China is actively changing and evolving, but I am on my own timeline here, and I just don't feel ready to return yet. The next reason for staying in the US is that I am a permanent resident. I am legally required to stay in the US for at least 6 months per year. This can actually be bypassed if I apply for a reentry permit, but the reentry permit is quite pricey. It's like over $600 for 2 years. Unless the international offer is so much more attractive than the stability that I have here, I just don't see the incentive to do that. So yeah, until I heal my trauma or the US literally falls apart, I'll be here.